Hey guys, how's she going today? Well, this is kind of spooky. I've never ever done anything with auto steer before, and it's working in the sprayer here now that we got it looked at, as I said before. So this is my first time ever with auto steer. Yeah, this now, that's all I can say. If you've never had auto steer, never used it before, whenever you get a chance to, it's so weird right at first just to get used to. But man, is it ever nice though. This is so much easier than just trying to hold that line by yourself. Yeah, I mean, look at the nice straight rows. Yeah, so anyway, spraying third pass of Roundup here on the soybeans. Normally I wouldn't be back out here already, or like doing a third pass already, but the first pass we did was more or less because it never got sprayed before I seeded it, and then I had to come back the second time there with used a chemical called Phantom, because I had Roundup Ready canola coming real thick in here. So I did a pass with that a couple, 2.5 weeks ago, something like that. And I'm out here again. I was just going to do the odd spot, because I had quite a bit of foxtail barley coming all over the place. And I kind of walked around, and there's a little bit of kochia, red root, brownleaf mallow, red root, pigweed, a bit of wild oats and mustard, just a little bit of stuff all over the place. So for what Roundup costs, whatever, go over again. It's only 97 acres or whatever, so not a big deal. So, but yeah, I'd only put 40 something acres worth of chemical in this thing, 40 acres I guess. I see my pressure's pretty well dropped off there, so I guess that'll be it for tonight. But shut the agitation off. You usually get another pass out of it once you do that. And yeah, I'd only put 40 acres in because I was just going to do those spots, but I should have filled it right up, I guess. But oh well, you don't really know those things till you go walk around in them. And I thought I'd seen it good enough from the road there, but obviously not. Anyway, this thing needs a wash here when we're all done. It's starting to get pretty muddy. Anyway, that's about all the stories I have to tell you for today anyways, so I'll just video a little bit of spraying here, and that'll be about it. It's always kind of fidgeting. It's got a thing called last pass too, for any of you who aren't really familiar with GPSs like this. And it's supposed to follow like your headland or whatever you're freehanding around a slough or whatever, but it's not quite speedy enough to be able to do that. I tried it here, and it can follow a gradual arc really quite well, but if you got something fairly aggressive, like you probably couldn't see it there, the steering wheel's in the way, where I had it on, it can't compensate quick enough. Like it'll overcompensate, and then it'll overcompensate for the overcompensation, go too far the other way, and it just starts going down the field doing this. It just can't, and then eventually it'll even itself out and get back on its line again. But I mean, by that point, it's already made quite a mess. So it's easier just to let it do its straight line, and then you can freehand it there around your low spots in your headlands or whatever. I mean, if you got some straight passes on the headland, like when I was opening up my very first pass along the big road there, I I kicked it on. I let it make the headland on its own there. But anything else, like along that side by the yard, there's a fairly good curve and whatnot along the creek. It couldn't handle that. It was waving all over the place. So anyway, it's not too big of a deal. And then, well, tomorrow's Canada Day, so I'm not going to be up too much for farming related things during the day, but maybe a little bit later on once I get back home again, depending on what time it is, or if Antoine gets bored and does it or doesn't do it or whatever, I'll come back and finish spraying this bit of Roundup, and then I gotta go spray my peas for disease there. Some Delero, there's a bit of leaf disease and it's getting into the little tentacles on it there. And they're telling me that when it gets onto the little bit of vines like that, the plant will start dropping the vines off to try to keep the disease from spreading, and you can lose 25 or 30% or more of your yield. Yeah, see that spot there, it made a miss where I was letting it try to do it on its own, so that's what I mean. But anyway, so I'm gonna spray that quarter again, and then hopefully that'll be it for spraying for quite a while anyways, till we maybe have to do another pass on Antoine's soybeans there. He just got done with his a couple days ago. Second pass of them there, so unless we got to do a third pass, I guess. Anyway, and then if we desiccate these soybeans, which we probably will be, and that'll be about it for spraying until we do a little bit of a fall burn off, and if I seed any winter wheat there, spray wherever it's going to go. But anyway. I had a little bit more in there than I thought, I guess. 50 something acres worth maybe. Probably end up with like 2 passes left. Not quite enough to finish this, that's my prediction. Oh well. See, it kind of buggered up last time there and it made it a little miss. I don't know what it was doing. It started just kind of trying to go off out into the middle of nowhere. I don't know if it lost its satellite or what happened there that pass. Not the end of the world. This the paint on here, it makes a 3-foot miss look like something pretty obscene when you're looking at the screen. So even if you're missing by a half a foot there, it makes quite the little stripe. So definitely strange having it steering itself though. But I really like it for this job. I don't know. Another thing that would probably be pretty nice is B-rolling. You can't really see where you have or haven't been. Even just the paint for that. I'd like to maybe get it in the big cedar next year too, maybe. Would be kind of nice, but see what happens. It's always a problem of not enough money. Kind of how it always goes on a farm, but anyway, one day. But for more really exciting videos like these, and others that are, you know, even more exciting, hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next one.